Hello, good people around the world, cyber world, podcast world. Those who are joining us for the very first time, we welcome you to the God Pill Wisdom Show. I'm one half of your host, Marcus Hart, and of course, I got my good brother God Pill with me, brother Augustus V in the building. How's it going, brother Augustus?
Man, doing good. Man, feeling amazing. Ready for another great show. How you doing, brother?
Hey, as I explained to you earlier, I had to I had to regroup, regroup. And then after I regrouped, I took a little nap. Woke up from my nap, had me some coffee around like four in the afternoon, and like
uh,
now I'm ready, to, talk a good conversation today. Yeah, we
yes,
got a good
sir.
series, man. Here, we on part two of this four-part series, and you know, this series is on how man can be more attractive, um, and not just according to like worldly standards, but more so according to like what God's got to say
Yeah,
about the whole matter of the situation, and because that's more important. And then number two, tonight we're gonna be talking about just um, being a man of truth, and like how you can embody that because man, they're struggling to know how to be more attractive. The issue is that they're being pressured, by society and cultural shifts to think about manly features of being attractive in a wrong way. So in
mm,
turn, what this does is it takes them away from who they truly are. It takes them away from truth, so you end up lying, you end up putting up a facade or some type.
mm,
You're not, you end up not being who you really are. You end up like being sucked in to to something that's just like totally ungodly, totally just like far from walking in your true call and in your true nature as a man. We got a lot of confused people out here, a lot of confused men out here, and I don't like it, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like it.
yeah,
I didn't like it when people was trying to impose these things on me. Um,
yeah,
and when I broke free from the matrix, and decided to like, hey, I'm gonna be my own man and do it my way. I said, it felt a lot better. If I felt a lot empowering, but not only that, I decided to just do it my own way. I said, you know what, I'm gonna embody what God says too. I'm gonna be led by just His wisdom, be directed by Him, and spend that alone time with Him whenever necessary. So, brother, what's
yeah.
your initial thoughts?
All right. So, man, I want to start this off right. I want to take our listeners to a passage in Scripture. I want to start us off with Genesis chapter 39. And this is going to be on the life of Moses. No, I'm sorry, not Moses, Joseph. And where we're not going to deal with his entire life, but there's something that happened in his life. This might have been more of a reoccurring theme, but what we have recorded in Scripture here, uh, it shows us what happens when someone doesn't necessarily bend over backwards, if you will, or
Mhm.
break their neck in order to appear to be attractive, but when they just have their eyes on God, see, and many males today do think that they should have to break their neck to appear to be attractive to women, or just period to be attractive in terms of people delegating to them or just respecting them or things of that nature. But we're going to see what happened in the life of Joseph and how he carried himself and what happened with him. So, Genesis chapter 39, verse 1. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. Now, mind you guys, Joseph just got sold as a servant, but he was a prosperous man. This means that God's favor was on him. See,
Yeah.
so verse 2, and the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Egyptian, and his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. Now we jump down to verse 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. Okay, so for all the soap opera buffs out there, the first soap opera was the Bible. Okay, uh, all the stuff you see in the soaps today, and the shows and the movies, is nothing new. The Bible's the best soap opera you could get. Verse 8. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house. Or in other words, he holds nothing back from me that's in the house. And he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? See, verse 10. And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. Or in other words, he got out of there.
Right.
So what we can learn from this is Joseph, all he cared about was God. All he cared about was being a good servant, or doing good work, doing a good service. And here's this wife of this Egyptian chief that is just on Joseph. I mean, she's all over him, literally pulling clothes off of this brother. Was he trying to be attractive to her? No. Was he trying to get her attention? No. But he was irresistible to this woman.
Right.
See? Why? Because all he did was had his eyes on God. Godly men don't have to try.
Mm. Yeah, and that's the thing about it, man. A lot of people out here, and you pretty much then backed up what I opened up with
Mm-hmm.
about, all of these different pieces of input we get about what we need to do, what we need to try in order
Mm-hmm.
to get attention. What
Yeah.
what has happened is we have fell into an attention culture. We have developed into an attention culture. We got the like button, we got the
Yeah.
follow button,
Yeah.
uh, you know, and because we have the like and the follow button now, people look, are constantly looking at that and saying to themselves, well, if I don't have enough follows or enough likes, you know, or other people will judge you by the number of likes or the number of follows you got. And they say,
Mm.
well, because you don't have enough likes or follows, you are not worth nothing. Your value isn't anything. Your social
Mm.
proof is not equal to that of mine or someone else's. But we know that's all a lie.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
how far have we gone that we letting a little button determine, how attractive we are?
Mm.
or a piece of hunk of metal. I'm talking about a car now.
Mm-hmm.
To determine how good we look, or how connected we are with ourselves and with who we are. But but really, what you described, brother, if you don't have no internal substance to yourself, no internal connection, if you're not embracing that internal connection with God, that which has been placed in all of us.
Yeah.
This we all been given this internal connection that we need to tap into and just flick on. Which when we
Yeah.
flick that on, that starts to grow that seed of righteousness, of recognizing what's right, of of recognizing when we are on the right path, when we are on the wrong path, how to treat each other, how to love each other. Most importantly, how to love each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that's not being nurtured
Mm-hmm.
inside of you, you're dead. The scripture
Mm.
says you're dead.
Mm.
Your words means anything.
Yeah.
And there's a verse, First John 1:6 says, if we claim to have fellowship with him and yet walk in darkness, we lie and do not live out the truth. So there's
Mm.
a lot of people walking in darkness right now.
Mm.
They think that like they're so colorful, but yet they're dark inside. They have no fellowship with like the creator, the God of this of all things, the Omega,
Mm.
the Alpha and the Omega.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to live out of truth. It's impossible to be truthful
Mm.
if you're not tapping into the truth.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that's big. Um, truth. Truth is that's a very big factor. Is I think is more valuable today, seeing that the demand for it is at an all-time high. There used to be a day on this earth, and I'm talking ancient, where if you weren't a truthful person and you went into business with people and you didn't act truthfully according to your business, you wouldn't get incarcerated. Um, you wouldn't always necessarily get tortured, but you would lose your life. See, because there was always a punishment for liars. It was always clear, if you lied to the wrong person, you could get it, and you could get it bad, and your kids will have to watch that. See, your grandkids will have to hear about it and say, man, why did I have to be born under this line? Why did I have to be born into this family? See, it used to be clear, if you lied to someone, there wasn't an if you were going to get it. It was just a when.
Right.
It was always a matter of time. Thieves in ancient times, they knew they were going to get it. They didn't actually believe that they could actually get away with this and die scot free. No, they knew they were going to get it while they were living, but because of their rebellious nature, they still went on with it. They still went on and lied and thieved and whatever. But today, people are so full enough to think that they could lie and get away with it. And in all essence, there are no real punishments for liars today.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, we live in a society where people are being rewarded for lying. Look at our, hey, I don't want to get too deep into politics, but look at our president right now. He lied during the campaigns and when he was running for presidency, and he said that he'll handle these issues in the Middle East. And he did say that he wanted to pull our soldiers out, but good Lord, right now, see, when they need us more than ever, you want to pull our soldiers out now. So it kind of reminds me of, and I said I don't want to go too deep into politics, but this
Yeah.
just shows why it's good to be truthful, you know. But it reminds me of how America, how we wasn't there for the Jewish people during the Holocaust. They said the Philippines was there for the Jewish people more than we were. See, so why would we do this to the Afghani people right now? Why would we repeat that side of history? See, so being truthful is not just about being attractive to women. It's about being attractive in the eyes of God. It's about being someone that God could be proud of. That someone that God could be proud of creating. I'll put it that way.
You know, just like they say, for everything, there's an app for that. Well, there's a
Yeah.
verse for that.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
And then I'm going to attack. I do definitely want to attack Afghanistan a little bit, because this all plays in part with that, with what you're saying, because right now people are suffering. People are really perplexed right now.
Yeah.
Because this is a time where we do need man of truth right now.
Yeah.
Will we get it? I beg we not.
Yeah.
Do your 2 Timothy 2:15 says, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, and who correctly handles the word of truth. I mean, of course they were talking about, ministers, but this is talking to everybody, talking to everybody who's given responsibility. As a man, you ultimately are given responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you supposed to make that transition from boy to man, you're given responsibility. And if you are out here leading, and then in all your work, it leaves back a trail of shame and foolery, you have not presented yourself at all to God as approved. How can you dare, sit back and relax in your wealth, relax in your comfort? You can't be relaxed. Any person who can be that relaxed is not from God. It's not from anything good.
Yeah.
They are seed from the devil.
Mm.
They're practicing in evil. And if you have no plan at all to correct even something you say, that that, like, okay, I made a promise, but I know it's going to be pretty hard to keep. So, well, you come out and say, well, it's going to take me a little bit of time to get this right. You stand up and you tell the truth. You say, well, it's going to take me a little time to get this right, or this is, you be transparent.
Yeah.
But these people can't even be transparent, or they refuse. It's not that they can't, they refusing to. And just as they refusing to be transparent, and to put innocent lives on the line for their benefit, so will their lives be forever tarnished and shamed.
Mm.
You can't have it two ways.
Yeah.
You can't keep going on lying, hiding what you're doing, and then the actions that you're taking is leaving evidence of like lies, and
Mm.
then raise your hand up in the air as though you won a championship belt.
Mm.
You can't have it that way.
Yeah.
So this is why people don't respect, or people are not attractive to people who do this, who people who's so inflamed with power at all costs. They're willing
Mm.
to sell their souls.
Mm.
And what's happening in Afghanistan is people who's willing to trade in their souls and also take the lives of others and sacrifice those lives so that they
Mm.
can live in comfort and continue to
Mm.
lie, cover up, and just leave this trail of shame while turning it back towards God,
Mm.
and causing us to be part of it.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a sad day, brother, in our world, and this is so much bigger than all of us. And
Yeah.
and if you think that being attracted for that girl next door is going to
Mm.
help you escape out of what's coming down the pipeline,
Yeah.
would you? They got to read into the scriptures a little bit more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed. I agree 100%, brother. And um, it is it's a very big deal. It's very important for the man to understand responsibility. I like how you started that off by saying, by being the man, you're here to be responsible, to carry on that responsibility. And responsibility, we've discussed this before, is the ability to respond.
Right.
It's to have something on your plate and to be able to handle what's on your plate, um, so that you can bring the plate back to the chef and say, "Hey, thank you for serving this to me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to clear this plate." See, and a lot of gentlemen today, they don't see what's on their plate as an opportunity. They see it as a lot of work. They see every meal that's given to them as work. Everything that's on their plate, they see it as work. And it is work, don't get me wrong. But the real men understand, if there's something on your plate, that's an opportunity for you to mark your name into the hall of greatness. That's an opportunity for you to mark your name into history. 20 years from now, 200 years from now, 2,000 years from now, when
Yeah.
when people read about your time, are they going to be reading about you? And people may not realize it, but when you simply just take responsibility, people do read about you in centuries, millennia to come, because you're just simply being a man. You're simply doing what you're supposed to do. And getting back to the ladies, women are naturally attracted to that. You don't have to try. You don't have to do anything extra. Now, a lot of gentlemen may say, but it's a new day. There's so many different things going on. That's understandable.
Yeah.
But those different things that are going on, they're distractions. It's just like gold. Gold, they say there's enough gold for all of us to be walking on the entire earth. They say we only tapped into 0.2% of all of the gold throughout all the earth. That means we're all walking on gold. But the reason why we don't see gold everywhere that we're walking is because there's a lot of things in between where we're walking and where the gold is. There's a lot of dirt, there's a lot of crust.
Right.
There's a lot of things in between us and where the gold is. But if you weed out all of the distractions, you could get to the gold. And it's the same thing with women. If you weed out all of the distractions, you'll see who's a real woman or not. You'll see who would respect you and who will honor you and would value you for doing what you're supposed to do. I like what KRS once said. He said, a little girl, she's going to say, I want the guy with the car. I want the guy with the house. She wants a coward. See? Not saying having the house makes you a coward. Not saying the car makes you a coward. But when she looks for that guy specifically for that thing, if that's all he has to bring to the table, she's looking for a coward.
Right.
And gentlemen, fellas, you don't have to do the cowardice things in order to attract a real woman, because a real woman isn't going to look for those things first. She's going to look for a real man first, knowing that the car will come, knowing that the house will come.
Brother, that is so like full of wisdom right there. And that really like that really sums up like everything we trying to relate and translate over to you man out there that's listening, who is a huge big demographic of our audience that downloads our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you guys so much and love you guys so much, which is why we taking the time out to just develop this series, this 4-part series that we do every Tuesday, live, and but of course if you get in the playback, you're viewing however. If you have to put in so much extra additional effort that it definitely robs you of your core identity. Me and brother was talking about this on the other side. If it's robbing you of your identity, if it's fluff, it's just like laying on a pillow, versus laying on concrete. You know the difference.
Yeah.
If that pillow wasn't there, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And that's what you should be as a man. You should be hard. But instead, people will stuff like pillows between, who they really are, and between the people that they hoping will land on these pillows, so that so that they can appear, just as like cozy as everybody else. But like again, the difference between that pillow and if you really work on who you really are, is that those pillows are soft.
Yeah.
So if you want to walk around being soft, hiding behind this extra layer of stuff between who you really are and then the people that you trying to draw to that stuff, that fluff, then you're gonna always be seen as just being soft.
Yeah.
They're not going to take you serious for who you truly are authentically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people got to constantly pry through all of that stuff, all that soft stuff, and once, which is not that hard, because like, once you lose it, or once they take enough from it, because like what we find out is that like people are consumers, so they start consuming, the things that they find attractive, that they find like gleaming to the eyes and tasteful to the mouth, and once they
Yeah.
start like eating it all up, and or they ride it all out, or however they go about it, and then they get to the bottom of the Milky Way. It's like, man. Yeah, what was that commercial? That Hostess commercial. They used to have the Twinkie commercial. They
Yeah.
used to, they used to see the big giant Twinkie. They'll plow through the Twinkie like, hey, where's the cream filling? there's nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing there.
Man.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we got a lot of Twinkies out here. A lot of Twinkies with no cream filling. Man.
I like that pillow analogy that you just gave, brother.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Ice-T when he did a freestyle at Rock the Bells at one concert, and he was dissing. He had some beef with Slaughterhouse, Eminem's group, and he dissed them. I mean, hard. And he used the pillow analogy. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, "The real G stuff is what we own, while cats out here are softer than the pillows at Bed Bath and Beyond." And I'm just thinking of that while you break it down. This pillow analogy, but it's very true. A lot of gentlemen out there, they call themselves real men, and they're soft. They're soft. Yeah. It's even in the movies, you see some stuff in the movie, and here's the main protagonist, the man, the male, the alpha male, and he's in a situation where he's supposed to make a decision. Do I do the soft thing, or do I do the man thing? And because things are so different now, because the narratives are so different now, this guy would do what the media says that he should do. This guy would do what these new agendas and these new groups and organizations say that he should do. And he does the absolute feminine thing. And sure, he saves the day. Sure, the good guy wins. But he wasn't loyal to who he should have been loyal to. See? And even I'm not gonna start a debate here, but one of my favorite series coming up was the Fast and Furious series.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the entire series, Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel, right? He's on the side of Paul Walker, this cop, right? Now I can see if he was cooperating with the police, that's different. Of course, there's two sides to that too.
Yeah.
But he always took the guy's side that didn't come up with him. He was always on the side of the guy that wasn't on his team. And we're down to the fifth movie. Now his childhood friend dies because he didn't take his childhood friend's advice. Now his childhood friend dies because of it, and everyone's still rooting on the main protagonist, still rooting on Dom, even though he did the non-manly thing, which is turning on his day ones. He lost Jesse, he lost Vince, his whole circle. He can't even go back home.
Right.
you know? And that's just one example. It's in all the movies now. But it's sad. It's you know what you're supposed to do as a man. But because of the media, because of these narratives, because it's cool now to do what you feel, people don't. These males don't. And they give up their man card.
Yeah, brother, you really nailed it right there. And this just that, like, I mean, this has just been our constant like uh theme, like all this year, just about, like, how people just doing things, that they feel, rather
Yeah.
than really taking the time to, like, to think, to let God, inspiration come into it, to really get inspired through, through God's wisdom,
Yeah.
and not make no impulsive decisions.
Yeah.
You know, getting, these constant pressures, it- people allowing, man allowing their anxiety to get ramped up all the way to 100, and then, because they don't want to feel that bit of discomfort, they say, well, I'm just going to get out of this discomfort. I'm going to, let me just hurry up and just I just do whatever it takes, to feel better, whatever it takes to feel good.
Yeah.
Well, like, I don't want to make nobody mad. I'm just going to do this, and
Mm.
and I'm not going to sit up here and lie. I used to be that way,
Mm.
but once I realized that, like, hey, you know what am I doing? I'm people
Yeah.
pleasing.
Yeah.
This is worse than telling a lie. This is lying. I am
Yeah.
lying. I'm lying to God and myself.
Yeah. Man.
There's nothing worse than lying to God and yourself.
Mm. Wow.
And when you find yourself lying to yourself, your whole you start doubting your whole entire existence.
Mm.
You become a doormat.
Man.
And you might as well
Man.
throw away whatever formal education you have, whatever upbringing you didn't have. You might as well throw all that away. It just simply exists, because all of it doesn't matter at that point.
Mm.
Because now you just operating on what everybody else wants.
Man. Wow.
Where's the truth in that? And how
Yeah.
can you have a great quality of life?
Mm.
You know, people
Mm.
are so afraid of, like, pain, because in the end, that's what it is. People trying to go around feeling pain, and but, like, if they
Mm.
only knew that pain is temporary.
Yeah. Yeah.
God promises to get you through pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You go through the pain. If you go through the pain, you're not going to suffer.
Yeah. That's right.
Pain is not suffering,
Yeah.
but we think it is.
Mm.
I'm gonna tell a real quick story, brother, and then I'll let you close it out. Because,
All
like,
right.
I love being transparent, and I love I love sharing, what's going on with me. So,
Mm.
like, I've been in an on and off relationship for over 12 years,
Mm.
and like, one of the driving forces of that relationship is that I had kids with that individual,
Mm.
and I had come to find out that, like, my biggest fear was that, like, if the relationship completely ended, that, like, I wouldn't see my kids no more, because, like, history has showed me that, like, each time we broke up, there would be this long periods where I wouldn't see my kids.
Mm.
But I had to come to acceptance. I had to man up. I had to be truthful.
Mm-hmm.
I had to embody the whole entire truth about the whole entire situation. That like, okay, listen, like I cannot keep living a lie. I cannot keep doing something because somebody else wants me to do it.
Yeah.
I had to be willing to go through the pain.
Mm.
I have to be willing to say yes. I accept. I accept. I'm going to face up my fear, accept what's coming, because
Mm-hmm.
if I stay in it, I'm just accepting being a doormat.
Mm. Wow.
So I did just that, and boy, what a relief!
Mm.
It frees you when you get,
Yeah.
but like but I didn't make that decision like overnight and like right then and there. It was a long thought out decision,
Mm.
and and my advice to anyone, you know,
Mm.
is that like you do take the time to to not be pushed into a decision, not to, do things because they feel right. Just like Brother Augustus said, and that you go into private, that you work it out with God, that you do hear from other wise men,
Mm.
and then you come to your own conclusion, that sits well with you and God, and then you make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
So,
That's
brother, I'll
it.
let you respond to that, and whatever else is on your heart to like get the brothers through on this evening.
Yeah, most definitely. Man, and yeah, I, as I'm sure everyone else is, also am appreciative of you being transparent and sharing that with us, and using yourself as an example, to let the people know that, we're not just whistling Dixie here, man. We're keeping this real. We're talking about what we know, what we see, and what, in some cases, in many cases, what we go through. So I appreciate you for sharing that with us, brother.
Oh yeah, this like this. There's a YouTuber that says this is therapeutic, man.
Yes,
Shout out Black Ram 313.
sir. Black Ram, yes, sir. But yeah, this is, this is where we're at. Um, Society is interesting. We get the technological advances, we get the information era, we get all of the scientific breakthroughs and all of these new creations or innovations, or which God really calls abominations, but we're not getting on that today. But we trade those things in for real manhood, which we don't have anymore, for quality in the home, not the house, the home, see, which we don't have anymore. We've lost our women. We lost our women. Let a man tell his woman to go in the kitchen and make him a sandwich.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Oh man, it's gonna be terrible.
yeah. That's not gonna happen today. And it's not because our women are free, it's because they're being deceived. We lost our women. We lost them. And what do we gain? We gain technological advances. We don't have to war, which we actually do, but we just don't know it yet. Um, we get what else? Uh, Debit, credit,
Hmm.
financial gain, monopoly, trickled up, trickle down economics. We get that. We get more trickery. We don't have to war, but we lose our women and we lose all of the things that really matter. See, and this is what it's coming down to. Now, I don't mean to be a pessimist, people. I don't mean to be a pessimist, but like I said earlier, if you want to get to gold, you have to get you have to dig up all of the stuff between you and the gold. So we got to dig some stuff up. But to end this on a happy note, when we understand these issues, all we have to do is just humble ourselves and go to God. Humble ourselves and go to God. Because we could take the long route and we could Sigmund Freud our way to the top, right? And philosophize our way to the top, which many of the greats in psychology, they didn't actually benefit from their work. They died, and then people generations after them benefited from their work. See, so we could do that, or we could just go to God, let Him figure it out for us, and defy whatever is happening today, and live
Right.
according to godly principles. Because if we don't, then you're stuck. We're everyone. If we don't, then we're stuck with the philosophy, with the Scientology, with the psychology of all of the experts that are secretly going through the things that they're supposed to be helping you with when they go home. See.
Hey, brother, that's a good way to like top the cake with like the perfect icing, and with a cherry on top. We appreciate you so much for all of that, and just all your contributions. And
Yes, sir.
those who are listening and watching, we thank you. Make sure you visit the episode description. If you have that available to you for some goodies up in there. Brother Gustus, tell them about your library one time.
Yes, sir. That's my personal site. That's www.augustusvaughn.com. My entire wisdom library is on there. I will be dropping a new title on there for free this week. It's going to be called the Scrolls of Wisdom. All right, and that's one part of a at least 16-part series. So this is this is going to be big, and it's all for free. It's my thank you to my listeners and fans and loved ones, because we're all in this together. So AugustusVaughn.com, Wisdom Library. Stay wise.
Indeed. And as always, don't forget to share this wonderful episode with someone. Again, this is a 4-part series. We're on part 2. We got 2 more series left. See you. Of course, you could catch this on Thursday. Thursday, we have a variety, of different topics that we could cover on Thursday. But for the next 2 more weeks, we'll be expanding more on how man can become more attractive in the eyes of God. That is. Look forward to that, and you'll be able to catch this in its entirety real soon once it's available. Until then, just catch all the drips as it drips on out. We want your comments. We want your feedback on what you think about this particular series. It's a series, a powerful series like no other. Directly from me and Brother Gustus, giving you that good God Pure wisdom. And that's where you can find us on IG as well at God Pure Wisdom. So until next time, many blessings, peace, and lots of love. We are out.